Outrage in Turkey over the latest Kurdish rebel attacks. Pressure is building for a major military response. Thanks for joining us. The Kurdish rebel ambush, which killed 12 Turkish soldiers on Sunday, has put immense pressure on Turkey's government. The attack has infuriated Turks across the country, and calls are growing for an immediate strike against the PKK in northern Iraq.
But the United States, which fears a Turkish invasion would destabilize northern Iraq, wants Turkey to hold off, but is also calling for swift action to stop Kurdish attacks. And Turkey's foreign minister has told Turkish television that his government will exhaust all diplomatic channels to try to resolve the crisis. Laurence Lee reports from the Turkish capital, Ankara.
We are ready for war, said the protesters, and their political leaders would no doubt agree. This mood of fury and desire for revenge stretches right across most of Turkey, except, obviously, for the Kurdish south, and is reflected too in the political leadership. Yes, the general assumption that the weekend's fighting would automatically lead to a ground invasion appears at the moment to be wrong. The Turkish government still saying it will wait for the Americans to decide whether and how to help fight the Kurdish separatists before any decision to go it alone.
They told us that they are really disturbed with this, and we said to them, if you take your steps in a swift way, this will be befitting of our strategic partnership, just like the steps we took in Afghanistan. Otherwise, it will be too late.
In fact, Mr. Erdogan said he would wait to get what he called clarity from a meeting in Washington with President Bush scheduled for a fortnight's time, and then promote a joint course of action. But given the speed of events here, that time frame may be unrealistic. Here's the expression of Turkish public opinion, and really the view of the political leadership here as well today, as expressed by the newspapers. Heinous attack stretches Turkey's patience to limits, and really that is about the size of it. You get the sense here in Ankara that things are now pretty much at tipping point, and for all the appeals for calm, it may well be that one more major Kurdish attack is one attack too many for the Turkish leadership. It's worth bearing in mind as well that for all the talk of a ground invasion, Turkey can hit positions in northern Iraq from helicopters, planes or tanks without having to cross the border on foot, and is doing so already. With winter approaching and the diplomats screaming for patience, that may be the best that Turkey can hope for.
Our correspondent Hoda Abdel-Hamid is in the mountains of northern Iraq, where the Kurdish separatist fighters are based. She sent us this report.
Those mountains across the valley there are inside Turkey, and I am standing on the Iraqi side of the border. Now, PKK fighters are hiding in these mountains just behind me. They are scattered in small cells throughout these mountains. Now, for any army, whether it's the Iraqi army or the Turkish army, to go after them means to carry out an extremely difficult operation, because the fighters here are on the move constantly. They don't have any fixed bases. If you look at the lay of the ground, you also see how easy it's for them to smuggle weapons inside Turkey, or even to sneak inside Turkey, carry operations, and just come back across the border here on the Iraqi side. Turkey has been firing lately artillery shells randomly into this area. There have been no civilian casualties, but the infrastructure has been damaged. And in these remote areas where there's only one road or one bridge, any damage to infrastructure is extremely disruptive to the villagers living here. Hoda Abdel-Hamid, Al-Jazeera, along the Iraqi-Turkish border.